Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech Softball Park for 3304 Sports. My name is Trey, Lyle, and joined with me is my broadcast partner, Jake Lyman. And Jake, I just want to welcome you to a chilly but a nice day here at Tech Sideline Park. Of course, Friday we had a multitude of thunderstorms come in, tornado warnings all across the board. A scary day, not a great day to play softball, but they've turned out to be two chilly but nice days, a little bit of wind, but you'll handle that for the way the weather was earlier in the week, and we have a nice doubleheader today between the top two teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah, definitely going to be a great game, and it's definitely a lot better weather than it was on Friday when they were going to have this doubleheader, but it's going to be a great Easter Sunday full of softball today.
Yeah, they tried to have the doubleheader to not have a game on Easter Sunday, of course, but I guess it does not work that way sometimes with Mother Nature, so we'll have a nice doubleheader here to celebrate a Easter Sunday, and Jake and I want to share with all of you a happy Easter and enjoy the holiday. Great. Hope the kids got a great visit from the Easter Bunny this morning, and hope you enjoy, if you're at an egg hunt today, enjoy that as well while you're listening to us here at 3304 Sports. But let's talk about some softball, and this is a great matchup, like we're saying, the top two teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And for Virginia Tech, what a turnaround. They were actually picked 11th in the preseason poll. But they only got one first team vote. They were the only team besides Florida State to do that in a poll chosen by the coaches. You want to guess who was the coach? The head coach of Florida State. So think about that. So either the coach at Florida State just needed to pick a team, thought their team was the best, or saw something from this Virginia Tech Hokies and head coach Peter DeMore, who actually got tossed yesterday, but we'll talk about yesterday's game in a moment, but a lot of implications today, Jake.
Definitely. It's going to be a very big day for both of these teams. The Hokies can clinch the Coastal Division if they sweep this doubleheader today, and if the Tar Heels are able to sweep it, they will jump ahead of the Hokies in the Coastal and take that first position. And if they win out, they would have a chance to win that Coastal Division and possibly even win the ACC regular season title.
Very intense matchup. And going on to yesterday, we had a old school pitchers duel here between probably the matchup we'll see later on today, Brittany Pickett and Carly Ellerby. But both pitchers seem to be having their stuff early. I mean, it was only 5 hits given up by the Hokies, but they still lose 3-0. 2 costly errors late in that game that kind of sealed the deal for the Tar Heels to get them game 1.
Yeah, old school pitchers duel is right. You have 2 of the better pitchers in the ACC. Carrie Eberly leading the ACC in ERA with a 1.56 mark, and then Brittany Pickett pitching over 55% of the innings for this Tar Heels team. She's been the workhorse for UNC, so we're excited to see that matchup again, possibly in Game 2. We're going to see Keely Rochard in Game 1, though, and she has had a special season.
To be a backup pitcher and have 3 no-hitters is pretty impressive and shows how dynamic this pitching staff is for the Hokies. But as I was saying earlier, how does head coach Peter DeMore reset himself? We had an obstruction call yesterday called by the home plate umpire and Robert Guest. And he just, it was very interesting to see. He actually got tossed. I've never seen a coach less animated get tossed before. He must have said some not seen for radio calls yesterday. But it was interesting to see him get tossed. And how do you reset your team knowing that you got to have these 2 games today to just control your own destiny?
I think they're going to come in with a little more fire because of what happened yesterday. I mean, a couple of close calls may have cost them a win yesterday, maybe not, but Pete DeMore is going to come back. He's a pretty calm guy. He's going to come back. He's going to resettle himself, and I think the team's going to be ready to go here in this doubleheader.
Peter DeMore in his first season here at Virginia Tech, looking for his 40th win on the season, which would be very impressive. Let's break down the starting lineups here. First for the North Carolina Tar Heels, batting first and playing second base is number 4, Leah Murray, who's on a 13-game hitting streak, looking to extend that today. Hitting second and the right fielder, number 10, Christina Burkhart. Hitting third, number 8, the center fielder, Kiani Ramsey. Hitting fourth, 28, and pitching, Brittany Pickett. Batting fifth, 55, the catcher, Megan Dre. Batting sixth, third baseman, Berlene Demora, the number 27. Batting seventh, and the designated player, number 9, Lexi Godwin. Batting eighth and playing first base is Campbell Hutchinson. She wears number 5. And batting ninth and playing left field is Destiny DeBerry. And not batting but playing at shortstop, number 29 is Abby Senemeyer. And for the Hokies, batting first and wearing number 2 is the first baseman Jamie Bailey. Batting second and wearing number 4 is the center fielder Darby Terrell. Batting third and wearing 13 is the shortstop Caitlin Nolan. Batting fourth and wearing 14 in left field is Emma Strout. Batting fifth and number 8 is the third baseman Kelsey Bennett. Batting sixth and number 9 is the right fielder Al Velasquez. Batting seventh and number 18, the catcher Mackenzie Lottler. Batting eighth, I should say, and number 16 is the designated player Meredith Sloss. She'll be in there for the pitcher Keely Richard, who wears number 3. Batting ninth, I should say, to round out the lineup is number 29, the second baseman Maddie Banks. And to break down the Hokies lineup, it's simple. It's 3-4-5. It's power, powder. The Hokies have 79 home runs on the season, which is second in all of college softball.
Yeah, they've definitely been the power for the ACC, but UNC not on that same level power-wise. They do it more with speed and just getting the ball in play, getting some base hits.
Definitely we're going to see some old school signed small ball play from the North Carolina Tar Heels versus the power of the Virginia Tech Hokies. And we'll have that broadcast for you in about 5 minutes. We're going to take a short commercial break and be back for you here for 3304 Sports. My name's Trey Lyle, and this is Jake Lyman joining me for the presentation of Game 1 of the doubleheader between the Virginia Tech Hokies and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Welcome back to Softball Park. His first pitch is about to happen. The Hokies have taken the field. The anthem has been sung, and we're about to play some softball. And as the softball is about to begin, the sun is peeking out here at Softball Park, looking to be a beautiful day here for some softball.
It's definitely going to be a great day, and we've got two great pitching matchups. We expect possibly to see Brittany Pickett try and pitch every inning of this doubleheader. So
that's going to be a great day, and it's going to be interesting to see as she's the workhorse. And now as Leah Murray takes up to bat, the Carolina wearing the Carolina blue uniforms with dark blue socks and dark blue shoes is Leah Murray. Richard gets a sign from her catcher, takes the first pitch. Murray shows bunt there, but pulls back, but is still called for the strike. 0-1 our count here.
Murray has some speed. 99 career stolen bases. That's second in school history, so maybe can get that 100th today.
She seems to be the perfect leadoff hitter for this North Carolina lineup and what they like to do. Shows bunt again, but a ball as it's high and outside there from Richard. The Hokies in their home white uniforms with orange lettering, Virginia Tech on the front with maroon on the shoulders. Richard gets the sign from the coach, checks with the catcher. The windup, the pitch, swung on to Richard. It throws on to first for the first out and is able to get Murray. A great first at bat there by Richard, able to get the first out of the inning.
Murray will have to extend that hitting streak a little bit later. 13 right now, 13 games, but we'll see if she can get that going that later. Not able to get it there.
Up to bat next is the left-handed hitter, Christina Burkhart, the sophomore, hitting .310 on the year. First pitch here from Richard. Gets the outside part of the plate for the first strike. As I was saying, for Burkhart, a 5'8 sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana, has a .310 batting average and has started all 42 games she's played in for this North Carolina side today. The 0-1 hits in front of part of the plate for the first ball of the at-bat. 1-1 our count here at Tech Softball Park. Our plate umpire today is Bob Thomas. At first base is Livs Hammerschmidt, and at third base is Robert Guest. So they rotated from yesterday, the same three who had an interesting game yesterday, as the 1-1 is a miss on the outside part of the plate, just a bit outside for a 2-1 count.
We mentioned pregame, UNC likes to use speed while Tech will use power, and a lot of speed with Burkhart hitting second in the lineup. She is second in the ACC in triples.
Look at that stat right there. That's interesting. Yeah, so definitely like extra base hits, likes to get runners on as the next pitch is fouled for the second strike of the at-bat. 2-2 our count. One out here in the top of the first between the Hokies and the Heels. Christina Burkhart plays right field and wears number 10 for this North Carolina side. She's one of the few young players on this lineup, a sophomore.
She's also one of the few players who actually has a little bit of power.
Swung on and missed here on the 2-2 by Richard for the first strikeout of the day. Next up is the center fielder, Kiani Ramsey, the senior, hitting .379 on the season and has also started all 42 games for this North Carolina side. First pitch here, tries to slap on it, but pulls back as the ball is outside for a ball. Kiani Ramsey, again, another just person that likes to get on base, only has one home run on the year, but has 23 RBIs, so she shows the ability to, if she has runner on, she can bring him home, as well as to get on base with a higher than .370 batting average. As the next pitch is a ball on the outside part of the plate. 2-0 our count.
She made the Hokies pay last year, though, with her power. Doesn't have a ton of it, but had a grand slam last year when they played down in Chapel Hill, so she can do it. I think the Hokies are going to hope they can keep her from sending one over the wall today.
Pitch here is outside. 3-0 our count, and if you're Ramsey, you want to just get on base here with 2 outs and no runners on here early in the first. Get Richard a little bit rattled and see what you can do from here.
I agree. Richard, she can get into that groove. We've seen she has 3 no-hitters on the year, including a perfect game. You don't want to let her get a 3-up, 3-down inning.
And she throws a great pitch there, just gets into the strike zone for the first strike of the at-bat. 3-1 our count here, and that was a good pitch there by Richard to get her looking for the strike. If you're Ramsey here, you want to be aggressive as best you can with 2 outs and a 3-1 count. Definitely a hitter's count. Infielders come in. Slapped and foul as it's going to head into the Hokies dugout. So full count here. It's payoff time. So full count, 2 outs here. Hokies hoping to get a 1-2-3 inning to start this game and get some momentum. After yesterday, they just lost all their momentum late on in that game. Trying to get 2 today to clinch the ACC Coastal for their first time ever. Slapped into center field, and it will be collected by Troll for the 3rd out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first. We have no score here at Tech Softball Park. We'll take a short commercial break. This is 3304 Sports. Welcome back here to Tech Softball Park for the bottom of the first as the Hokies are due up. And first up is first baseman Jamie Bailey, the freshman. Bailey is a 5'5" freshman from Scotts Depot, Depot, like Home Depot, West Virginia. Bailey hitting .407 on the season. First pitch is a ball on the inside part of the plate. And yesterday, Pickett did attack the inside part of the plate a lot. So see her to do that again today as she pitched a gem, a 3-hit shutout, and is hoping to do something today. And like you said, Jake, she's hoping to pitch both games. So we'll see. Swung on by Bailey, the 0-1, or should I say the 1-0, and she's able to get a base hit as that thing falls right behind the first baseman in shallow right field. Just fair, and that's a perfect way to start today for the Hokies. You want to get on Pickett early because if she's going to have a lot of innings, you need to get that pitch count high.
Just 3 hits yesterday, able to get 1 with the first batter. That's great. You don't want to let Pickett get into a groove, and now you got the heart of your order coming up.
Here we go. And Toll up here for the Hokies. First pitch is swung on. Darby Toll, the sophomore, hitting .417 on the season. She's a 5'3" sophomore from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Has 6 home runs on the year, so she can show some power when she needs to. The 1-0 is fouled off straight back, and it goes over the stands here at Tech Softball Park. A decent crowd here for the first game of a first game today here.
Darby Troll hit .233 last year, and she's really stepped it up, leading the team in batting average, top 5 in the ACC.
The 0-2 swung on right to Pickett, throws on to second. It looks like we see another fielder's choice. I mean, it's like yesterday all over again. That's happened, I would have to say, at least 5 times yesterday as the Hokies hit into a fielder's choice. Ball goes right to Pickett, and Pickett throws to Ramsey, but is not able to get the double play there as there is some speed here with the first 2 batters, and Troll is able to get up. Next up is the danger part of this lineup, the power of this lineup. Caitlin Nolan, the senior. This is back-to-back seniors for the Hokies, hitting .301, but here's the big part. She has 10 home runs and 55 RBIs. Swings on the first pitch, but fouls it off.
Caitlin Nolan, second in the ACC in home runs. She's definitely been that source of power for the Hokies in this season, and a big reason why they're at the top of the Coastal.
15 home runs. You have to respect it. Swung on and foul for 0-2. I was looking at Strout's stat line there.
Strout, yeah.
Who's next up? She has 10 home runs and 55 RBIs. Caitlin Nolan has 15 home runs and 46 RBIs. So you can just show that these two seniors, despite this young lineup, are a key for Pete DeMore as they are able to bring a lot of power and a lot of runs home. The 1-1-2, or should I say the 0-2, is just a bit outside for a ball. Moves the count to 1-2. Pickett gets the sign from the coach. She has a wristband there. I think it's very analytical, UNC's approach. She gets the sign, looks at the wristband, tries to see the best matchup. Pitch here, swung foul right above us and hits the roof right above us. So it's pretty interesting to see. Jake, I hope you protect me if they come at us.
Obviously. There's no chance I'm letting you get hurt, Trey.
The 1-2 here, 1 out. Swung on and missed. A great rising fastball there by Pickett to get the strikeout. First strikeout of the day. Moves 2 outs. Now Emma Strout's up, who has 10 home runs and 55 RBIs. Number 14, Emma Strout, of course, is the left fielder. First pitch here, swung on and missed for the first strike of the at-bat.
Good change of pace pitch there by Pickett, able to get Strout way out in front, looking for the fastball, slowed it down, and gets strike 1 there.
And it looks like we're repeating yesterday again. The Hokies get a runner on, and they get a fielder's choice, and then make no momentum. But I changed that as Emma Strout pulls it down the line, but it is called foul. Woo! That could have been a dangerous hit there. Perfectly pulled down the third base line, but just foul.
Almost skipped over that third base bag. Would have gone to the corner. Trey would have had a good chance to score some speed over there at first base.
To put it in perspective, she was already rounding second by the time the ball was in the outfield. The 0-2 here, just a bit outside there. I think Pickett was looking for Strout to chase there, but good eye by Strout. There for the 1-2 count. Emma Strout, the 5'7" senior from Julian, North Carolina. Provides some of the senior leadership this lineup needs for a very young lineup that's looking for their 40th win on the season. The 1-2, just a bit outside. Ball goes into the dirt, but a nice play by Trey there for North Carolina to block it and not allow Troll to advance to second. The 2-2. Swung by Emma Strout to left field, and it's over the wall for a home run. Emma Strout gets a pitch there from Brittany Pickett, is able to hit it right over the bull and bone sign here at Tech Softball Park for the home run to make the Hokies lead 2-0 today.
Emma Strout extending her lead on RBIs in the ACC now to 10. Came into the game leading the ACC by 8 RBIs, gets 2 there, and now a double-digit lead. She has been a star for the Hokies.
And like we said earlier, you got to get through this power. 3, 4, 5, 6, all can hit home runs, and we're bringing the freshman, the leader, all-time leader in your for your freshman year in home runs, Emily Bennett, who takes the first pitch for a ball. Or should I say she fouled it off? Correction.
Bennett has been named top 25 finalist for the National Freshman of the Year. She has come into Blacksburg and made a huge impact early.
Next pitch here by Bennett is hit to the second baseman, Murray, who throws on to first for the final out of the inning, but the Hokies are able to do damage as Emma Strout hits a ball over the left field wall to give them their first runs of this series, and now they lead 2-0 off of 2 hits by the Hokies. We'll be back after this short commercial break. And we're back here as Brittany Pickett is now up for the Tar Heels, looking to get some runs back after giving up that 2-home run to Emma Strout in the past inning. Richard. First pitch is a ball as she is pitching to the pitcher. That's a lot of P's there, Jake.
And Pickett can help herself out like she has done so many times this year. A great hitter, but an even better pitcher, as we've seen.
Hitting .370, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. She actually was producing yesterday for her side on both ends. Was able to get, in her 2 at-bats, was able to get, I think she went 1 for 2. Oh, actually, she went 0 for 2 yesterday. Correction. Oh, she was hit by a pitch yesterday. That's what happened. I remember now. College, man, they ruin your memory.
And Pickett, you usually don't see a pitcher lead their team in home runs, but she's doing it here, tied for the lead with 5 on the year.
After fouling off the next pitch, moves the count to 2-1 here. Richard gets the sign, the windup, and the pitch. Just high there for Richard as she moves the count now 3-1, hoping to get her second strikeout of the day. The 3-1. Swung to the second baseman, but is not able to field it. Banks is not able to field it cleanly. Skips up in front of her, not able to field it. That will go down as an error for the Hokies. And their fielding errors, here we go again for Virginia Tech. We're going to have a pinch runner here. Donna Papa talking to the home plate umpire, Bob Thomas. And number 21 for North Carolina is coming into the game. That is Shayla Thompson. Shayla Thompson, correction.
And a tough play there for Maddie Banks. Got in front of it. Looks like it took a weird hop and just got by her into the outfield. It'll count as an error, but not an easy play.
Definitely so. She's playing far back. Now they're playing in double play rotation. Both have the corners are in, though. First pitch is inside for a ball. Seemed like Lautler was expecting steal there as she got up quickly and was ready to fire it on to second.
Yeah, when you bring a pinch runner in, you expect them to have a little bit of speed, and she's getting down like she's about to run the 100-meter dash over there.
And, of course, Donna Papa does not want to risk her pitcher getting hurt. Had a pinch runner for her yesterday when she got on. Trey shows bunt there, but ball is fouled back for the first strike of the at-bat. 1-1 our count here with no outs and a runner on first for North Carolina. But the Hokies lead after the Emma Strout home run over left field in the bottom of the first. They lead 2-0. Richard gets the sign here from the assistant coach. Communicates with the catcher. Wind up. Swung on. Swung on and missed, but Thompson is able to steal the base there and get in scoring position. A great steal there by Thompson to get a runner in scoring position, and you'll see that a lot from North Carolina as they like to play the small ball. I compare them to the Kansas City Royals that won the World Series. They'll do any ways they can to advance the base. They'll bunt, they'll steal. They'll try to get as much base runners as they can and runners in scoring position.
Kind of a National League, American League difference here. The NL likes to play small ball, manufacture runs. The AL likes to hit the home run with the designated hitters, and that's kind of what we see today, Virginia Tech being the AL.
And North Carolina's hitting their pitcher, and Virginia Tech's not, to compare. Fouled straight back into the crowd. Guy almost made the play on it and wearing the camo jacket, but is unable to collect it. He'll be able to turn it in to get a Tropical Smoothie gift card. The Hokie Promotions team does here.
And there he missed the throw back to the team rep.
Got to work on it.
He had the fielding error, and then he compounded it with the throwing error there. Just a tough sequence of events.
2-2 here. Fouled back there by Trey. They have a runner in scoring position with no outs. And the way this game went yesterday and the way it's shaping up to be today, runs are going to come few and far between. Only 3 runs yesterday won it. So anytime you have a runner in scoring position, you want to take advantage of it, especially with no outs here.
And that's why it was so big for the Hokies to get the 2 runs in the bottom of the first. You put up 2 runs with Rochard on the mound, there's a chance that's all it's going to take to win the game.
Swung on here by Trey and popped up and foul. Those are the dangerous ones there. It appears the UNC contingent here lost it in the sun and was just trying to protect themselves. Luckily, it did not hit anyone. We don't want any injuries today by our great crowd here at TSP. The 2-2 here still. A great putt job by Trey here to extend the count a lot, get the pitch count up. You want to work the pitcher as best you can, especially when you have a great opportunity like this. 2-2 here, swung on by Trey, and another foul straight back.
Good at bat here by Trey. She's been one of the better hitters for UNC, one of the ones that actually has a little bit of power. She's tied for the lead in home runs with 5.
Trey is the local here, as we said yesterday, 5'9" sophomore from Lynchburg, Virginia, about an hour and a half away here from Blacksburg, hitting .344 on the season. Like you said, 5 home runs, tied for the lead as she fouls another pitch off. So Megan Trey has to be enjoying it. We would assume her family would come up because it's the closest probably matchup she would get in terms of ACC teams. So very exciting for her, probably have her family here and playing in a sort of hometown game.
And she went to Brookville High School. Can you guess who that's the same as? Virginia Tech player? Not softball, but Logan Thomas. Quarterback Logan Thomas for the Hokies went to the same high school.
That's a good
as
nugget.
Megan Trey.
Current Lions tight end, Logan Thomas. The 2-2 there is got her looking a great pitch there by Rochard. Looks like she took some off of it, like a changeup. You don't see that very often in softball, but gets her for the strike out there, her second of the day. But if you're Keely Rochard, you don't want your pitch count to go up, but that was a great pitch there to get Trey looking for the first out of the inning.
Rochard has really developed this year, turned into a solid number 2, and would probably be a number 1 on most teams.
Next up for the Tar Heels is Berlene Del Mora, the 5'4" senior from California, Honolulu Heights, California. So a West Coast girl here, and she takes the first pitch for a ball on the outside part of the plate. The 0-1 here, high, but a great play by Lutler to not get that away from her. That could have been a wild pitch there, but she's able to get up quickly and able to prevent Thompson from advancing any more farther than second base.
Look, possibly it could have been a pitch out there. Lauder jumped up like she was trying to see if Thompson was going to steal.
The 2-0 here. Inside for a ball. 3-0 our count. And if you're Del Mora, you want this. You want a hitter's account. You would have to assume Donnie Pop is giving her the green light to swing away here with 1 out. Try to get the runner home here. If she can just get a base hit with Thompson's speed, you would assume that we'll either have a play to the plate or UNC will get a run on the board. Pitch is a ball on the outside part of the plate, and Del Mora is able to get a walk there. So now we have runners on first and second with 1 out, and our score is Virginia Tech 2, North Carolina 0. Next up for the Tar Heels is Lexi Godwin, the designated player, the freshman, hitting .273 on the season. Has played in 30 games for the Tar Heels, but has only started 11, so she's been used lately by head coach Donna Papa, as we'll have another pinch runner here for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Number 18.
Taylor Putz coming in, freshman.
Taylor Putz.
And walking De La Mora might actually work out well for Rochard and the Hokies. Now you set up the double play. Chance here to get out of the inning with a hard ground ball.
Or just get the lead runner at third, which is a force here. So we'll see what the Hokies do here. Pitch here from Rochard. Swung on and popped up. Bailey's able to reach into foul territory and get the out. And gets quickly and is looking to throw it to third. I wouldn't expect Thompson or Putz to run there, but they threaten it, maybe trying to force a throwing error on the side of the Hokies.
Yeah, and I usually are going to see pop up to the first base in foul territory. People are going to try and advance.
But a great play there. Get a quick at bat for the Tar Heels if you're Rochard, as well as get the second out. So now you just have to make a play at first. Next up is excuse me, Campbell Hutchison, the first baseman.
Hutcherson, known for her defensive ability in the last couple seasons, just 3 errors in her last 2 seasons, has 5 this year, though, has struggled, but has stepped up at the plate.
Hitting .253, and like you said, has only started 38 games, so of the 41 she's played in, but seems to still be relied on as the second pitch there after the foul by Hutcherson is called for a strike, just gets in the inside part of the plate. And if you're Richard, you want to get her out here. You want to get the strike out here, or just get out of this jam that you put yourself in with runners at first and second and 2 outs.
Yeah, the error started all of this by Maddie Banks over at second base. Richard, it would be big to get out of this inning unscathed.
The 0-2, just outside there for the Hokies. 1-2 arc count here. Hutchison is a 5'5" junior from Advanced, North Carolina. So a local girl to the Carolinas, playing for one of her home area schools. Has to be very enjoyable playing at this high of a level. The 1-2 is outside. 2-2 our count here. And if you're Richard, you're just trying to, it appears they were trying to get her to chase there. Doesn't seem to work from Hutcherson, I should say. And moves the count to 2-2. The 2-2. Swung to the first baseman, Bailey, and she'll tag Hutcherson for the final out of the inning. So the Hokies are able to get out. Despite that, the Tar Heels do damage as they're able to get on with an error and a walk, but still, no hits have been allowed on the Tar Heels by Keely Richard today. But our score reads 2-0, and we'll be back right after this short commercial break. Welcome back here to Tech Softball Park in the bottom of the second. The Virginia Tech leads 2-0. Next up is the right fielder Al Velasquez, the sophomore, who's hitting .348 on the season, the transfer from Minnesota.
And they won the Big Ten last year, so coming to Tech, but it seems like it's been a good decision so far.
First pitch here from Pickett is a strike on the inside part of the plate, 0-1 our count. Vasquez also from Las Vegas, Nevada, so kind of well-traveled across this country is Velasquez. The 0-1 is a strike, just gets on the outside part of the plate, move the count to 0-2. Pickett with 2 nice pitches to get Velasquez looking for 2 strikes to start the at-bat.
Pickett would love to put up a 0 here and not let the Hokies extend this lead anymore.
The 0-2, check swing by Velasquez, but is inside for a ball. Or should I say a foul? It appears it hit the bottom of the bat of Velasquez and called foul. Correction.
You mentioned Velasquez from Las Vegas. It's interesting. Her sister played at Norfolk State, so both of them coming to Virginia to play softball.
Velasquez is struck out looking. Pickett is able to get a ball on the inside part of the plate for the first out of the at-bat. Next up is number 18, the catcher, Mackenzie Lautler, the sophomore, and again, we just have youth on this lineup. Mackenzie Lautler is a 5'5" sophomore from South Boston, Virginia, so again, another local girl here at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, she's been hot of late. 5 of her last 12 entering this series, and she had 2 home runs, including one against UVA.
First pitch, swung up right up the middle, and Mackenzie Lautler is able to get a base hit to start on the first pitch of her at-bat. With 1 out, the Hokies have a runner on, and that is Mackenzie Lautler. Next up for the Hokies is number 16, Meredith Slaw, the designated player. The only person in this lineup not to play yesterday. She's a freshman hitting .269 on the season. Check swing here by Slaw, but is still called for a strike.
Slaw didn't play much last week in the series against UVA, but in that sweep, she had one at-bat. It was a 2-run homer, so she picks her spots.
The 0-1 is fouled off, and she shows that power there as she hits it very far, but happens to just be in left, very left. Hits it over the grandstands and over the Hokies bullpen.
A very loud strike, too.
0-2 our count here. Swung and fouled again by Slaw, and you can just tell she has the power, and it helps for head coach Pete DeMore. She's only a freshman, so she's definitely going to be able to develop a more sense of how college pitchers are going to pitch her through her years at Tech. The 0-2 here. Check swing by Slaw, but this time it's called for a ball.
And Slaw has that mini leg kick. Starts with her front foot a little bit staggered, and she just swings for the fences pretty much on every pitch.
Still 0-2 our count. Actually, 1-2 our count. Swung on to the first baseman who steps on the bag. That is Hutchinson. Looks to second, but the speed by Lottler is able to get there in time, and that's the first time. That was a good at bat, if you want to say, by Slaw, as she's able still to advance the runner to second.
Yeah, you're able to get a runner in scoring position. Even with 2 outs, a base hit probably scores Lotter from second base.
Next up is the second baseman, Maddie Banks, another freshman on this team, hitting .250 on the season. It started 41 games for this Virginia Tech side.
And Banks has a lot of speed out there, and you can see North Carolina respecting it, playing almost their entire infield in. They have shortstop back, but second baseman in the corner is playing closer in.
Banks attempts the slap bunt there, but is called for the strike. 2-2 our count.
She's 11 of 11 stealing bases this year. No one has caught her yet.
Slapped into center field. The center fielder, Ramsey, tries to dive on it, but is unable to make the play. And Lottler is able to score from second. So an RBI single there by Banks, who made the error in the last inning, is able to make up for it here with a nice slap single, kind of a blooper play where you have to give your hats off to Ramsey. She tried to make the play she could, try to dive in there, sliding dive, try to make the play as best she can, but unable to collect it, and the ball falls for the Hokies, and they're able to get a run.
Banks just slaps it right into no man's land between the left fielder, center fielder, and second baseman, and able to bring in the runner.
Back to the top of the lineup, and Jamie Bailey here for the Hokies. The first pitch is inside for a ball. She kind of had to do the little bit of matrix move where you lean back with the shoulders to avoid it. Definitely a dangerous play there. It could have been. Bailey's 1 for 1 today, was able to get that single, but then got out in the fielder's choice. Next pitch is hit right to Hutchinson, who's able to step on the bag. Oh, they actually called it foul. So Bailey's able to avoid the out there as it went foul by the time it reached Hutchinson's glove there at first base.
But you look at the speed by Maddie Banks. That did not take long to get down there and get called foul. She was already halfway to third. She was around second and almost all the way to third. A lot of speed out there right now. Wouldn't be surprised if she steals.
Next pitch is fouled for the second strike of the at-bat. 1-2 our count here, 2 outs here as the Hokies lead 3-0 here. We have a repeat of yesterday. If you take the aggregate score, it'd be 3-3.
This isn't soccer, Trey.
I know. I'm just stating facts, Jake. The 1-2 here from Pickett. Ball, but Banks decides to try to steal, and correction, Trey makes a great play there, able to get her out. So that's the first time Maddie Banks has been caught stealing this season. So the announcer's jinx is real, Jake.
Definitely. I mentioned it about 30 seconds ago, and then she gets caught stealing first time this season. So I apologize to Maddie Banks and to the Virginia Tech softball team for my jinx right there.
It happens, my friend. But the Hokies are able to get 2 hits and 1 run in this inning after this base hit single by Banks. Our score now reads the Hokies 3, the Tar Heels nothing. Welcome back for the top of the third inning here at Tech Softball Park as the Hokies lead 3-0 over the North Carolina Tar Heels as they're looking to sweep today's doubleheader and clinch the Coastal Division. Next up for the North Carolina Tar Heels is Destiny DeBerry. Attempts a bunt there, but is able to pull back in time for a ball.
And DeBerry, mostly known for her defensive ability, has not made an error in 2 seasons. So
very impressive there by DeBerry.
Another announcer's jinx coming, probably.
The second baseman. And playing second base, it's very difficult. You get a lot of hard shots. You look earlier in the game with Maddie Banks as the next pitch is a ball on the outside part of the plate. 2-0 our count.
She has some speed, too. 12 of 14 stealing bases, so Virginia Tech respecting that, playing the infield in.
Spot attempt there by DeBerry, but it's able to be collected by Bennett, who throws on to Bailey for the, or should I say, Banks. Banks comes over to cover the bag as he had the infield in there on the bunt for the first out of the game.
Well-executed bunt play there. Bennett crashing, and Banks able to get over and cover first base with Bailey going to back up.
Back to the top of the lineup, and Leah Murray, the second baseman, looking for her 14th straight game with a hit. Ball on the inside part of the plate. Yesterday on the broadcast, we were not able to do the announcer's jinx for that as she got a hit. We mentioned that a lot, but no announcer's jinx so far today. We're going to knock on wood that we don't mess with anything in terms of that. 1-0 our count here, 1 out here in the top of the third. Richard with the windup and the pitch. Bunt attempt there by Murray, but is able to pull back, but still called for the strike. 1-1 our count here. We got ones across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
And Leah Murray went to high school with another UNC legend, Luke May, on the men's basketball team. So 2 of the better players at UNC right now.
Inside for a ball to make it 2-1. It looks like Leah Murray's attempting a slap. You'll see her start at the back part of the batter's box and then try to run up and slap it as she gets some advice from head coach Donna Papa as they have a conference before this 2-1 at bat. She knows this could be a pivotal part of this game, down 3-0 in a pivotal series in conference play.
You wonder what she told her. I think maybe Tar Heels might have something on here. Maybe try another bunt.
It's interesting to see, but yesterday against Murray, they had 5. They did 5 infielders. They're back to the normal lineup today. Slapped on and foul for the second strike of the at-bat. 2-2 our count. That gets a rise out of the Hokies fans. They're 2-2 our count here. Correction. That was actually a slap bunt attempt, and it was fouled. So with 2 strikes, Murray is able to strike out. Richard gets another strikeout today. So, correction. Used to watching baseball, you gotta get used to the slap bunts. So, slap bunt attempt was fouled. So she's called for a strike. Of course, when 2 strikes and you attempt a bunt, you gotta get it down.
So in a weird way, Richard gets her 160th strikeout of the year. That leads the team.
That was definitely a unique strikeout. Next up is Christina Burkhart, the right fielder, and she takes the first pitch for a ball.
Scoreboard finally resetting. They had 3 and 2 as the count.
Next pitch is called for a ball. 2-0 our count here to Burkhart. Burkhart over 0 for 1 today.
Burkhart from Indiana, Purdue territory. Her sister actually played at Purdue for 4 seasons. She decided to be a little different.
The 2-0 there, swung on by Burkhart. Banks is able to collect it, but doesn't collect it cleanly and tries to flip it on to Bailey, but Bailey not able to collect it in time. Drops the ball too, but they count it as a hit on the board. So that's interesting to see. I think it was just both a tough play by both of them, and I think you would assume that Burkhart would have got there even if Bailey was able to cleanly catch that.
And Banks sliding to her left, able to knock it down. It's a tough play there. Bailey had to stretch all the way out. There's no way you can give an error to either of them on that play.
So the first hit given up there by Richard here in the top of the third. And next up is Keely Ramsey, who goes 0 for 1 today. First pitch is called for a ball, but Mackenzie Lawler throws it on to first, trying to get the pick off, and is unable to get it as Burkhart is able to get back in time. The 1-0, 2 outs here. 3-0 our score. The Virginia Tech Hokies lead here in the first game of our doubleheader. Pitch is inside, but gets away from Lawler. And the runner is able to advance to second, and that runner is Christina Burkhart, the sophomore. So now we have a runner in score position after a wild pitch there or it'd be a pass ball, I should say, there by the Hokies, is able to advance the runner.
And you notice down the left field line, Carrie Eberly starting to get warm, so short leash here for Rochard. They don't want to let her get in trouble.
And we'll probably see Ellery at least in game 2, so she's probably going in her pregame routine, treating this as if the second game is just a regular game today. Next pitch is called for a strike. 1-2 our count.
Richard's had 2 jams, 2 innings in a row. She'd love to get out of both of them.
Richard now up to 53 pitches. The 1-2 slapped and fouled off there by Ramsey.
And Keely Rochard really developed in this offseason. She gives a lot of that credit to Doug Gillis, the pitching coach that Pete Demore brought from Kennesaw State. He's really been helpful for this Hokies pitching staff, and it's seen they lead the ACC in pretty much every important pitching stat.
The 1-2 here, slapped into left field. The left fielder, Emma Strout, is able to collect it for the final out of the at-bat. UNC is able to get on the board with their first hit, but they leave the runner on second. Our score still reads, the Hokies 3, the Tar Heels nothing. We'll be back after this. I have another story. Whatever.
We can cut it out.
Yeah, beautiful of editing. Next up, welcome back here to Tech Softball Park as we're back to the top of the lineup for the Hokies. Jamie Bailey, first pitch, fouls it off down the third baseline. And your head coach, Peter Demore, who has his first season at Virginia Tech, second season coaching as a head coach, 1 season at Kennesaw State, took them to the regional last season. You have to feel good about this start, especially after yesterday just struggling to manufacture any sort of offense as the 0-1 is swung on and missed by Bailey.
And the way Rochard is pitching, being up 3 runs could be enough. Rochard not allowing a lot of hard contact, not much to the outfield so far. So if she can continue that, 3 runs may be enough to do it.
The 0-2 is fouled off there by Bailey. And you want to talk about success. How about this? Pete Demore was the MVP of the 2007 NSA World Series. So this guy is a winner no matter where he goes. The 0-2 is outside for a ball. He spent 8 seasons at Missouri, and that included 3 trips to the College World Series. This guy was a shortstop and a pitcher. As the 1-2 is outside, she checks swings. They appeal to the first base, and they say she did not go around. So 2-2 our count here to Bailey. And Bailey, last at bat, attacked Pickett early. Got on the first pitch, was able to hit a single right up the middle. The 2-2. Swung down the third base line, is able to get through there for a base hit. Bailey rounds first, but won't advance. Del Mora was trying to make the play at first, doing the best her can, but it just took a weird hop right over the bag and right down the line for a base hit there for Jamie Bailey.
Bailey using all fields in her first 2 at-bats. First at-bat slapped one down the right field line that barely dropped in, this time grounding it over the third base bag. Jamie Bailey showing she's a very dynamic hitter at the plate.
You're better at remembering plays because I said she had a base hit up the middle and I was getting at-bats confused. Darby Toll 0 for 1 today after hitting into the fielder's choice in the top of the first inning. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Next pitch is slapped into left field, into foul territory, and DeBerry is able to collect it for the first out of the inning. You're right about Bailey. I was getting confused with Al Velasquez, who, when she was up top, she hit the single. We'll see here a little. But they've been able to attack Pickett early on today has kind of been my point, something they weren't able to do yesterday.
Getting hits in all 3 innings thus far. They haven't really been intimidated by Pickett and what she did yesterday. They've come out and started anew and made some plays at the plate.
Caitlin Nolan, the senior, 0 for 1 today, hitting .301 on the year. Bats right is the shortstop here for the Hokies. Takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0 our count. The 1-0 outside for a ball, 2-0 our count, and on deck is the home run hitter and the person who first broke this game open, Emma Strout, who had the home run over left field in the top of the first.
And Pickett better tread lightly. Both of these hitters can hit it out of the park.
The 2-0 there, low, and 3-0 our count. And a home run hitter like Nolan, you don't want to count like this because you're going to have to throw a strike, and she can take advantage here. 3-0 swung by Nolan and foul. It appeared she wanted to hit that over to the Lane Stadium parking lot because she was looking to turn on that very quickly.
Nolan had the green light there. Little bit of a change of pace from Pickett. Got out in front of it a little bit, but definitely hit hard down that third base line.
3-1 our count. Skips in front of the plate for a ball, so we have runners at first and second with Emma Strout, the home run hitter, today on at the plate, and this is a dangerous situation if you're Brittany Pickett. You definitely want to get out of this. Maybe only allowing run, but preferably 0 runs here.
Strout, 11 home runs this year after the one earlier, and 57 RBIs. This is not the person you want at the plate.
Takes the first pitch and hits it to the first baseman, Hutchison, who's not able to field it cleanly, but luckily for her, Murray is able to clean it up behind her and flip it onto Hutchinson, who's able to get to the bag in time for the out. But the runners are able to advance to second and third, so we have runners at second and third with 2 outs there. So if you're Emma Strout, you don't want to get out there, but you say, hey, I advanced the runners. I got out, but I was able to advance the runners second and third and make a prime spot for Kelsey Bennett, the freshman who takes the first pitch for a strike on the inside part of the plate.
100%. Emma Strout probably would have liked to have a hit there and possibly an RBI, but now a base hit from Kelsey Bennett, who is hitting over 400 on the season, would score 2 most likely.
Pitch there by Kelsey Bennett is just past Delma Royer, who gets there for the base hit. 1 run scores, but the second run is not able to score. They get the ball in time. A great play there to Barry, to Demora, to Trey, to get Caitlin Nolan out at home to save 1 run. But the Hokies are able to score 1, and were able to get 3 hits in that inning. So our score reads 4-0 Hokies, and we'll head to the top of the 4th. Welcome back here to Tech Softball Park as Brittany Pickett, the pitcher, who's allowed 4 runs today, takes the first pitch for a strike on the inside part of the plate.
That last play at the end of the bottom of the 3rd looked like Caitlin Nolan hesitated coming around 3rd. If she had just gone full out, she probably would have been safe.
Net 0-1 here from Pickett is swung on and missed for the strike. 0-2 our count here. Richard looking like she's settling into this game, looking for her 3rd strikeout. 0-2 our count here. Richard wind up and pitch. Slap to the first baseman, Bailey, who's able to step on the bag for the first out.
Yeah, hit it hard there, pulled it right down the first base line, but Bailey hugging that line and able to grab it, take a quick step on first base, and another good start to the inning from Keely Rochard.
Next up for the North Carolina Tar Heels is Megan Trey, who's 0 for 1 today, struck out in the 2nd inning. Wind up and pitch here. High for a ball. You can hear the UNC dugout chanting for Megan Trey, hoping to get some sort of offense here as North Carolina has not been able to generate any of that today.
And if anybody can start it, it's Megan Trey. 16 of her last 17 games, she has a hit, and she leads the team in slugging, home runs, and RBIs. So definitely the person you want at the plate when you're in a little bit of a slump.
The 1-0 inside for a ball moves the count to 2-0. If you're Keely Rochard, you have to feel good with a 4-0 lead, knowing that you feel pretty safe up there. You got some good run assurance, and you're just hoping to maintain that lead and maybe preserve the shutout. Pitch there is high for a ball, but of course you don't want to force the shutout. You want to play within the game, and if you have to give up a run, that's okay because you have such a comfortable lead right now.
And you're up 4-0 against a team that doesn't hit home runs too often or have a ton of power. So you have to feel good if you're Rochard that if they have to manufacture runs, they're going to run out of time.
4 straight balls there as the 3-0 pitch is high, and Megan Trey is able to get on to start the at-bat. So head coach for the Tar Heels, Donna Papa, is coming in to talk to the home plate umpire. It appears we're going to have a pinch runner here for the Tar Heels.
Tynesha Vines coming in.
Tynesha Vines, who pinch run yesterday for the Tar Heels.
The junior.
Up next for the Tar Heels is Berlin Del Mora, who was able to walk her last time up in the second inning.
De La Mora stepping up this year, hit 169 last year, now bringing it back to 290. She's been a much better hitter for the
Wind
Tar
up
Heels.
and pitch, strike, able to get in there. Got to feel good after throwing 4 balls to start the at-bat to get the strike in there from Richard. Appears the wind is blowing out today. Might be helping the Hokies in terms of their power, as Donna Papa is calling time there to talk to her batter Del Mora, as she knows this is a big at bat, and just you have to look at the accolades of Donna Papa. 1,284 wins. She's the 14th. She has a winning record in 30 of 14 seasons, and she was the 11th head coach to win 1,000 games. She did that in 2012 against East Carolina. She's 9th all-time in wins and 5th among active coaches.
When you coach at the same school for 34 years, you got to be good.
0-1 pitch is swung on into shallow right field. Banks and Velasquez seem to crash into each other as they weren't communicating, but Banks is able to still collect it for the second out of the inning. That could have been a dangerous play.
It's a tough play. I used to play in the outfield, and that's supposed to be the outfielder's ball. You call off the infielder because you're coming in. It's easier for you to get there than the second baseman who's coming back. But definitely you got to communicate out there. You don't want to crash in to anybody.
But Banks able to still collect it despite some contact there by Velasquez. You could call that an and one if you're watching basketball. Next up is Lexi Godwin, who takes the first pitch and hits it into right field. This time, Velasquez calls off the infielder Banks and is able to get the final out of the inning. The Tar Heels are able to get one on the board with a walk, but are not able to produce any offense. Our score still remains 4-0. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth in moments. Next up for the Hokies is the right fielder Al Velasquez, who was able to get a single her last time, or 0 for 1 today. She
struck out in her first at bat, leading off the second, and then Mackenzie Lauder came up, who's in the on-deck circle. She came up and singled right up the middle.
Jake is way better at remembering this than I am, folks. This is why I rely on my color guy. Pitch here is called for a strike. 0-2 our count here. And it looks like a repeat of the last at-bat. Velasquez took the first 2 strikes, and she just doesn't seem to be aggressive today, waiting for the pitch she likes, and it helps to have a 4-0 lead, but you kind of have to get on Pickett early. It looks like that's where the Hokies have taken the most advantage, as the next pitch is a ball on the inside part.
Yeah, you can't be tentative when you step into that box. The first or second pitch, odds are it might be the best pitch you see in the entire at-bat. You got to jump on it.
The 1-2 inside for a ball. 2-2 our count.
Yeah, that one was tight. Almost getting that inside corner.
Velasquez takes a minute, walks over, appears to clean off her cleats a little bit, and now walks back into the batter's box. Pickett gets the sign from her coach, checks her wristband, wind up and pitch, fouled straight back behind us and over the grandstands. Like we said earlier today, Velasquez, a Minnesota transfer, after winning the Big Ten, decides to come here to Blacksburg. As she takes the 2-2, swung on into right field, or should I say left field, and is able to be collected by DeBerry for the first out of the inning. Mackenzie Lottler, who is 1 for 1 today, got the single and was able to score later on in that inning, is up to bat.
And Mackenzie Lauder should be a freshman right now, but last year she enrolled a semester early so she could play last year with the Hokies.
First pitch is called for a ball, and that has to help her coming into her sophomore year, get an extra season under your belt, despite this being your freshman year, sort of like what some football players do, try to get to spring practice, graduate early. You saw that with a couple players with the Hokies, but most notably Trevor Lawrence of the Clemson Tigers went on to win a national championship. As the 1-1 there was a check swing by Lottler, and they go to appeal, and they said she did not go around, so the count is now 2-1. 2-1 our count here. Our score, Hokies 4-0. Swung on and missed by Lottler for the second strike of the at-bat.
Lauder sitting fastball there. Thought she had it, swung for the fences, but dropped off. A nice changeup there from Brittany Pickett.
2-2 our count here. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Swung on and missed. Got her reaching there. If she didn't swing, that probably was a ball, but she got her looking there, or should I say reaching, was Brittany Pickett against Mackenzie Lottler for the second out of the at-bat. Next up is Meredith Slaw, the designated player, the freshman, 0 for 1 today. After hitting into a 3 unassisted play, but it was or should I say, to the first baseman, Hutchinson, but was able to advance the runner Lottler and set up that the RBI by Banks. First 2 pitches are a ball here. Slaw being patient here, the freshman.
Trey throws that one into center field, trying to get it back to Pickett. Just going a little too fast there. But
Slaw only has 52 at-bats this year, but she has definitely been advantaged. Even has 4 home runs in that, and is slugging .610. The 2-0 fouled off there by Slaw for 2-1 our count here. 2 outs. And if you're head coach Donna Papa, do you think, hey, how do I use Brittany Pickett the rest of this game? If you're hoping to use her in game 2, trying to conserve her arm as best you can, as the next pitch is a ball. 3-1 our count, as she's now at 65 pitches.
Well, in such a crucial game, I think you just got to ride her out as long as she can go. She's your ace. You've got to let her play this game and hope that your offense can step up.
Inside for a ball, so Slaw is able to get the walk and brings up Maddie Banks, the freshman second baseman, who was able to get an RBI single her last time at bat.
Pickett should be aggressive here with Banks. Despite her getting the single last time, Banks still leads the team in strikeouts, and it's not all that close. 30 on the year, that's 13 more than any other Hokie. So being aggressive here and trying to get out of the inning without any contact, just try and get her 3 straight strikes.
Hokies call in a pinch runner, number 00. Wow, you don't see that very often. Jada Crittenton, the freshman from Norfolk, Virginia. So pretty interesting to see a 00 out there. Banks takes the first pitch, swings and misses, tries to slap it for the first strike of the at-bat.
Crittenton may have been sleeping over there. Took her secondary lead. Trey fired back behind her. Almost able to get her before getting back to the bag.
Slapped. Foul there by Banks to move the count to 0-2. You'll probably expect Crinton to run there. Run here on a 2-strike account with 2 outs. She hells up is Banks for the first ball. 1-2 our count.
Close pitch there. Pickett, I think she thought Banks was done on 3 pitches, but instead a ball there just inside. It extends the at-bat.
Slapped here by Pickett is able, comes off, or should I say slapped there by Banks, comes off the glove of Pickett as she's trying to collect it. Settlemeyer was right behind her to try to back her up, but is not able to field it as the ball goes under her glove. So Banks is able to get on. They will rule that a hit. Obviously, a weird play there by Settlemeyer. She's just expecting to come, but it bounces off the glove of Pickett and Banks is able to get on with her second hit today.
And Pickett tall in the circle, but not tall enough.
Hit.
If she let it go, that's probably going to be an out.
Jamie Bailey now up for the Hokies. He's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles and takes the first pitch for strike.
Jamie Bailey, we've seen her go to both fields so far. We'll see what she can do here with a runner in scoring position.
Ball is inside. For the ball, 1-1 our count. 2 outs. Runners on second and first. A jam here by Pickett. The 1-2 outside for a ball. So Pickett definitely doesn't want to break this game wide open. 4-0 you can control, especially with 3 innings left in this game after this. So you definitely want to try to get out of here with not yielding any damage. But if you're Jamie Bailey, you want to get up, get a base hit, and hopefully get a run scored. Swung on by Bailey to center field, right center field. The center fielder Ramsey calls off the right fielder Burkhart for the final out of the at-bat. Hokies are able to get 2 runners on and another hit. They move their hit total up to 7, but they are not able to produce any runs. Our score now reads the Virginia Tech Hokies 4, the North Carolina Tar Heels 0. We'll be back for the top of the 5th in just moments. Leading off to start the top of the 5th, head coach Donna Poppin looking for the offense, calls in a pitch hitter for Campbell Hutchinson. Number 33,
Zoe Goodman.
Zoe Goodman. Thank you, sir. I was looking through my notes, and Jake Lyman there to attack it. Jake Goodman on the season hitting 200, has 9 hits and 1 home run as she takes first pitch for a ball, and the 1-1 is swung, or should I say, the 1-0 is swung on a miss to make the count 1-1. I'm getting ahead of myself. 1-1 our count here.
And we've seen this a lot from UNC hitters today. They're slashing, they're putting the bat in the zone and then pulling back and swinging.
She slashes there, but is brings the bat back and fouls it off straight back to make the count 1-2. And if you're Goodman, you need to take advantage of this pinch hit opportunity. You only have 45 at-bats all season, so you got to take advantage of when you are hitting. 0 for 2 all-time against the Hokies. The 1-2 strung on and missed, but the ball is dropped for the drop third strike by Lottler, but she's able to get it on to first to Bailey for the first out of the inning. Richard moves her strikeout total up to 3 today. Destiny DeBerry now up for the Tar Heels. She's 0 for 1 today after grounding out in the third inning. Berry hitting .277 now on the season. First pitch from Richard is in the dirt for a ball.
And Pete Demore would love if Richard could get through this entire game without much of an issue, and then you save Carrie Eberly for the entire second game, where we're expecting we're going to see Brittany Pickett again. That's going to be another great matchup.
The 1-0 there is slapped on, but popped up to the third baseman Bennett for the second out of the at-bat. And Richard seems to just be getting into her zone in the last couple innings. Had some trouble in the second and the third, but these last 2 innings she seemed to be locked in and just now trying to just get through this game, kind of in cruise control, knows where to pitch it, and is delivering. Next up is back to the top of the lineup, Leah Murray, whose 13-game hit streak is definitely threatening here today as she's 0 for 2 and takes the first pitch for a strike, gets in the inside part of the plate.
And Richard does this a lot. She had her perfect game against JMU just last week.
The 0-1, Murray shows bunt and is able to pull back, but still called for the strike. 0 for 2 today, and if you're Richard, you get a nice tip of the cap to end this hit game streak. I think that's what you want to do.
Yeah, there's a chance Murray could get up again in the 7th, but this could possibly be her last at-bat of this game. It's going to end that hitting streak.
Interesting to see. The 0-2 slapped right over the third baseman Bennett, and she doesn't have to worry about it. She gets another hit, extends that to 14, and gets a crucial hit, the second hit of the game for the Tar Heels with 2 outs.
I'm going crazy with the announcer's jinx today, saying that she might not be able to extend it, and next pitch shot over the third baseman's head, so you're welcome.
Guess who's doing great? Me. Cole. Next up for the Tar Heels is Christina Burkhart, 1 for 2 today. After having a single in the third. First pitch called for a strike. Lottler is able to get up quickly no matter what. As we have some sort of break in the action as the Friends theme is being played in between these pitches.
I think that might have been a mistake there. I don't think the Friends theme was meant to play there, but
interesting to see. 0-1 here. Fouled off into the Hokies bullpen, or dugout, I should say.
Richard being aggressive, getting ahead of hitters in this inning, and it's worked out well. The single from Murray, but 1 strike away from getting out of this inning with a 5th 0 up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we might have a game of shutouts the way this game's going. You just have to get 1 run against these 2 teams because the other pitchers are locked in. So on all sides, all 3 pitchers who played in this series, the 1-2 was in, or the 0-2 was in the dirt, and Murray goes there and is able to steal the base and get a runner in scoring position. So a ball in the dirt by Richard gives Murray just enough time to advance to second with her speed. We have a runner now in scoring position. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Hokies lead 4-0.
I want to mention that is Murray's 100th career stolen base, so a great achievement there, and she is 2 away from breaking the all-time school record.
The 1-2 fouled there by Burkhart, and to get 100 stolen bases just shows how consistent she's been as a senior for this North Carolina Tar Heels, and head coach Donna Pop, who gives her the spot of leadoff hitter, just shows her ability to basically do it all. She's can get on base as a 14-game hitting streak and can steal bases and get herself in scoring positions.
Yeah, when you can get on base and then steal second, you're getting in scoring position almost every
1-2
time.
here is flown out to the left fielder. Emma Stroud is able to collect it for the final out. So that stolen base there by Murray is not able to do anything, and the 0 stays on the board for the Hokies. But they're able to get a hit and no errors, and our score still reads Virginia Tech 4, the Tar Heels nothing. We'll be back after this. Welcome back here to Tech Sideline Park. I think I have this on backwards. Welcome back here to Tech Sideline Park as we are now in the bottom of the 5th, and on up is the center fielder, Darby Charlie. Takes the first pitch over right field and is able to hit a home run, the second of one today. First pitch there by Pickett. Darby Troll is able to smash it over the right field wall, right over the College World Series sign in that right field wall to extend the lead to 5-0. And if you're Darby Troll, you take the first pitch of the inning for the leadoff home run, you got to feel pretty good.
And I was talking to Coach DeMore on Thursday, and he said that Darby has really improved her confidence this year, has been able to step into that box and know she's going to do it. She actually got into the lineup because of her defensive play, but now leads the team in batting average.
Yeah, you have to just give her hats off to her. And we almost didn't catch it. We had some technical difficulties to start that inning, and we just flipped it. And of course, Donna Papa is now making the pitching change here.
Gonna bring in Hannah George.
Hannah George in for the Tar Heels, and you just gotta think it's 5-0. It's gonna be very hard to make the comeback. Let's put in Hannah George, who's 10-0 on the season with a 3.69 ERA, has 57 strikeouts on the season in 93 innings pitched, to try to, just get through this and see, just be able to survive and maybe not extend this game any longer.
And I think she's really settled in as a freshman coming in. Maybe struggled a little early, but her last 3 starts, 3 straight wins and just 2 earned runs in 19 innings. So Hannah George has really been on as of now, and she beat Florida State her last time out. And that's always a big accomplishment. Florida State always in the top 5 in the country in softball.
Yeah, the defending national champions and the first team in this conference's history to win a national title.
She also, like Brittany Pickett, is pretty solid on the offensive side. She has 3 home runs on the year.
And if you're head coach Donna Papa, you gotta hope that George can come in, limit the damage, pitch well in these final 3 innings of work. As first she'll face is the power hitter Caitlin Nolan. And Nolan takes the first pitch for a strike, able to get in the inside part of the plate.
And I think at this point, Papa is saying that we're going to look forward to Game 2. You're going to let Pickett rest for a couple minutes, get ready for Game 2, and come in and try and have another gem.
Yep, and the second pitch there is flied out to Ramsey at center field for the first out of the inning. Going back to Troll's home run, it was a right over the right field wall. And right over that College World Series sign, where both these teams feel if they can make a run in the next couple of months, string some wins together, they might end up there.
ACC, one of the best conferences in softball, and if you're at the top, you've always got a chance to get to that College World Series.
Speaking of home runs, the person who kicked off the runs parade today is Emma Strout, who hit that 2-run home run in the first inning, is now up 1 for 2 today, and takes the first pitch for a ball. Moves the count 2-0 after the ball on a 1-0 count here.
Last week, Emma Strout, the ACC co-player of the week, so coming off a hot week and able to stay hot today.
The 2-0 swung on and missed by Strout.
Hannah George changing the pace again. I've liked the way the UNC pitchers have been able to mix their speeds, and right there, Strout was looking for home run number 2 on the day, but was way out in front of the 2-0.
The 1-2 is fouled off and into the stands. Actually hits the roof of the North Carolina dugout.
Strout 0 for 3 yesterday. Had the home run, able to get her first hit of the series.
2-2 our count here. Inside for a ball to make that count full at 3-2.
George able to get the dangerous Caitlin Nolan to fly out to center, trying to get through the teeth of this order unscathed.
The full count outside for a ball, and Emma Strout is able to get on with 1 out and bring up another power hitter in Kelsey Bennett. It's so hard to face this part of the lineup. You have Darby Toll, Caitlin Nolan, Emma Strout, and Kelsey Bennett. It's just power, and power. And if Darby Toll, who hit a home run today, can hit homers, that makes it even more dangerous. First pitch here from Bennett is fouled straight back. Comes very close to us. Hits very close to us, about 2 feet from us here in our broadcast booth. Luckily, no one got hit by it. Jake was there to protect me.
For those wondering, yes, I was prepared to protect Trey.
I'm only play first base in intramural softball, not ready for fast. As Bennett flies out to DeBerry in left field for the second out of the at-bat.
And if you're Hannah George, you have to feel good about getting through that 3-4-5 stretch with only a walk allowed. Those hitters combined have 39 home runs this year, which
That's ridiculous.
is more than the entire North Carolina roster.
Next up, Al Velasquez is 0 for 2 today. Had a strikeout in the second and flew out in the fourth. Takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 our count here. 2 outs here in Game 1 of a doubleheader today on an Easter Sunday. We hope you are enjoying your Easter Sunday wherever you are listening to this game. As the 0-1 is taken for a ball by Velasquez. The Hokies have gotten 2 home runs today, and like we said earlier in the broadcast, the long ball is what's gotten the Hokies here. They've now gotten over 80 home runs on the season, which is a pretty astounding statistic.
First in the ACC and up there nationally in home runs. So
they were tied for second coming in today, as the 1-1 is fouled off by Velasquez to move the count to 1-2. And Georgia's pitch count is getting up here early in this first inning. Is already at 13, and obviously you're hoping to get her through these 3 innings, but you don't want to work yourself too hard here in your first inning of work.
Definitely, and if Hannah George is needed in that second game, you don't want her to be tired.
The 1-2 inside for a ball.
Al Velasquez 0 for 2 on the day. Had the strikeout in the first inning. We've noticed that she hasn't been as aggressive at the plate.
Yeah, she actually bats second yesterday and moves her farther down in the lineup. Switch spots with Darby Troll, maybe just to change some matchups, as the 1-2 is fouled off her foot. That can't feel comfortable. I remember playing baseball and doing that. It's not one of the best things to do.
Definitely doesn't feel good. And then there's the times where the umpire doesn't notice it immediately. You fouled off your foot and you still got to run all the way down to first base. It definitely is not a good experience to have, and Al Velasquez stepping back in now.
2-2 our count here. and hits Velasquez on the elbow.
Confusion here.
But are they calling foul? It appears they were just calling foul. Maybe the home plate umpire Bob Thomas thought it bounced off her bat, then off her helmet, then off her elbow, it kind of looked like. But we're having a conference here.
I think maybe what he thought is that it may have hit the handle of the bat, the knob, and then bounced off her helmet, but it looks like they're going to change the call here.
Change the call here. They said it went off her helmet first, and they will award Al Velasquez first base. So a hit by pitch there by George.
And Pete Demore was walking down. Possible he gets ejected 2 games in a row.
For being, and Pete Demore is a very calm dude, and I will say this again, that was the most chillest ejection that I've ever seen. I believe he had his hands in his pockets the whole time talking to the home plate umpire. My guess is he said some not on-air language we can talk about to home plate umpire yesterday to get tossed. Next up is Mackenzie Lottler, who's 1 for 2 today, has that RBI, or got on base, was able to score by Banks in the second inning. And
looks like a little friction going on between the fans right now. There was a lot of clapping going on when they called it foul from the UNC side, and now a Let's Go Hokies chant breaking out among the home crowd.
We have a great crowd here as the 1-0 is swung on and missed by Lottler. Trey throws to second to try to get Emma Strout, but Strout able to get back in time. The 1-1 outside.
Almost
for a ball.
getting that corner.
And you're Mackenzie Lottler, you're in a great opportunity here to really just break this game wide open. I mean, it already is, but to even do more damage and just keep that momentum. But she's not able to do that as she swings and misses 2 into our count here, because this game's definitely going to affect our second game. And if you're able to win by a dominant margin, 5-0 and even more, you kind of have good momentum going into the second game. So you definitely want to take advantage anytime you have runners in scoring position. The 2-2. Gets her looking on the inside part of the plate. A great pitch there by Hannah George. The Hokies are able to do some damage by the home run by Darby Troll over the right field wall, but Hannah George is able to come in and manage that and only allow the 1 run from the Tar Heels. Our score reads the Hokies 5, the Tar Heels nothing. We'll be back after this. Welcome back here to Tech Softball Park, Jake works for Tech Sideline Park. That's why I was thinking about it.
I was going to say, the Tech Sideline buy the naming rights to the stadium?
Up first in the top of the 6 is I was looking at the wrong side. Kiani Ramsey, the senior, and she takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 our count here in the top of the 6th. Keely Richard. 0-1 outside for a ball. 1-1 our count. Ramsey 0 for 2 today.
She's the best hitter on this team, though, batting .379 entering the day.
She flew out twice today. The 1-1. Just a bit outside for a ball. 2-1 our count here. Got to give your hats off to head plate umpire Bob Thomas, who's kept a consistent strike zone today. And it has to feel good for the pitchers, knowing where they can place it and not place it to try to get that strike call. The 2-1 slap to Bennett, who's able to collect it and throw it over to Bailey for the first out of the inning.
Another great start to the inning for Keely Rochard. She's really been being aggressive with those leadoff hitters, and it's worked out today. Still a shutout.
Now up is the designated player, who was the pitcher, Kelsey Bennett, still hitting for the North Carolina Tar Heels because you can't get rid of her power. Takes the first pitch and pops it up to the shortstop, Nolan, for the second out of the inning. So Keely Rochard is trying to get through this inning pretty quickly.
And I think that was hit right to Bennett, but Nolan, being the shortstop, has the ability to call anybody off. She takes it. Not sure why, but.
And they have a little bit of a chuckle about it as Bennett was like, I could have got that very easily, but they still get the out with 2. Next up is Megan Trey, the catcher. 0 for 1 today, but was able to get on with a walk the last time she was up in the 4th.
Rochard making quick work in this inning, already 2 outs. If she could get another quick out here, that would be big with just 1 inning to go.
And the first pitch is a called strike. The 0-1 here from Rochard. Slapped foul straight behind us and over the complex.
Now well ahead in the count, 0-2, Rochard.
0-2 and 2 outs, looking to go 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 6th. The Hokies trying to get out of here as quickly as possible to get the second game started and try to not use their players as much as they can. 0-2 is foul tip, but not be able to collect it for Lottler, so that will be a called foul on the field. 0-2 our count here.
And Trey just check swing there, got it into the strike zone, enough to get a foul tip there back to the backstop.
Trey takes the another 0-2 and is able to foul it off, is able to extend this at bat. She is looking for her best pitch. The Friends theme is being played again, and the last time it worked to a strikeout, so maybe it's the good luck charm for Keely Rochard.
Yeah, maybe a little inside joke that we don't know about here with Tech Softball, just playing the Friends theme. Oh, you know what? Maybe they ran out of softball. No, I'm not sure. There was a stoppage there for the Friends theme. Maybe that's just something here we're not in with.
Well, the next pitch leads to a ball. 1-2 our count here. 2 outs. Our score reads the Virginia Tech Hokies 5, the North Carolina Tar Heels 0, here in the top of the 6th inning in game 1 of a doubleheader that could well and truly decide who wins the Coastal Division and maybe who gets the 1 seed in the ACC tournament in a couple weeks. The 1-2 slapped by Trey, trying to get it into the gap, but it hangs up in the air long enough for Troll to just get under it at the warning track. That could have been a dangerous play there. It looks like Trey got all of that, but just not able to get out of there.
Yeah, Coach DeMore told me that Darby Troll is one of the best he has at tracking balls in the outfield, and we saw it there. Good first step, able to get back there, taking extra bases away from Trey.
But the Hokies are able to go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 6th. We'll head to the bottom in just a few moments as the Hokies lead 5-0. Welcome back here to Tech Sideline Park as the Virginia Tech Hokies are leading the North Carolina Tar Heels 5-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Meredith Slaw now up for the Hokies, the designated player, the freshman. 0 for 1 today, but was able to get on the last time she was up through a walk in the 4th and takes the first pitch for a ball. Of course, Hannah George now up pitching in the circle for the Tar Heels as Brittany Pickett was pulled in the last inning after giving up her second home run today. Hoping to see her back in game 2 as the 1-0 is slapped foul by Meredith Slaw.
Good job to foul that one off. Might have been a strike on the outside corner. Doesn't even move her feet, just kind of puts the bat in the strike zone, fouls it off, and it's strike 2, but
0-2 our count here to Slaw. Slap to the second baseman, Murray, who's able to flip it on to the first baseman, Hutcherson, for the first out of the at-bat. Now up is Maddie Banks, who has an RBI today.
Banks not known as much of a hitter, but yeah, had a hit it the other way just over the shortstop's head and able to bring in Mackenzie Lauder back in the 2nd inning.
Takes the first pitch, tries to slap it, trying to get on, and is able to foul it off. Banks is 2 for 2 today, has 2 singles, and in that 2nd inning, of course, was able to get the base hit that led to one of the 5 runs the Hokies have today. 0-1 swung on and missed by Banks. You see Banks, he starts way back in the batter's box and tries to slap it on, tries to use her speed as an advantage, trying to get that head start to first.
Being a lefty, that makes a big difference. She's running up, basically running to first base before she makes contact.
Tries that kind of motion again. She takes 2 or 3 steps and then swings, but doesn't swing there and takes the ball. 2-1 our count, or 1-1 our count. 1-2 our count, I should say.
That's really tough to time it because they slow it down and change pace on you, and you're already running. There's only so far you can run. So definitely a tough way to hit.
The 1-2 tries to slap it, trying to get it right over the third baseman, Del Mora, but that ends up foul. The UNC fan contingent cheering on Hannah George, the pitcher, as she's trying to get this strikeout here in the bottom of the 6th. Already has 1 out in this half inning.
A good turnout from the UNC fans here in Blacksburg.
The 1-2 inside for a ball. 2-2 our count.
I believe Hannah George has her family sitting just a couple rows in front of us.
The 2-2. Slapped here, short to Murray, and she's able to collect it in time. That was a close play there. But Hutchinson's able to collect it to get the out. Great play there by Murray to time that ball. She charged. It's like one of the first things they teach you in softball or baseball, and it's when I was a head coach of a T-ball team, when I taught my kids, attack the ball anytime it's on the ground, and that's what Murray did there to get the second out of the at-bat.
Dribbler to second base with the speed that Banks has. It's a tough play to make, but Murray, like you said, attacking the ball.
Back to the top of the lineup, and Jamie Bailey, 2 for 3 today, and first pitch is inside for a ball. Think about having a freshman lead off and just how consistent she is. She's hitting .414 on the season, so pretty impressive for head coach Pete Demore. The 1-0. Inside for a ball. 2-0 our count here, 2 outs. And look, we got 3 2s on the board. Batter, Bailey wears number 2. We have 2 balls and 2 outs. If she gets 2 strikes, we might get to call Yahtzee because there's 2 hits also on the board.
Yeah, deuces are wild.
The 2-0. Inside for a ball. So 3 straight balls to start this at-bat. And if you're Jamie Bailey, you're salivating because you now have a hitter's count here because she's because George is going to have to throw you a strike. The 3-0. In the dirt for a ball. So Bailey's able to get on with 4 straight balls and able to get on with 2 outs and lead to one of the home run hitters today who hit the home run over right field. Her last at bat, Darby Troll.
Yeah, probably not the person you want to walk there. Jamie Bailey has some speed, and now you bring up Darby Troll with a chance to bring in a couple more runs if she can do it again.
1 for 3 today, that one being her home run, her 7th on the season. Brings her RBI total up to 35 and takes the first pitch.
And Hannah George, last inning, faced the teeth of this order 3-4-5, and
for a ball. Second pitch is the ball, so that's 6 straight balls here from George, so she needs to try to settle down here and try to get this last at bat.
Yeah, you don't want to walk Troll here. Then you got Caitlin Nolan stepping in. Nolan 0 for 2 today, but
you got to respect her power.
15 home runs on the year.
The 2-0. Outside for a ball. That's 7 straight. This is not looking good if you're Hannah George. You just got to get something across the plate there, and that was well outside. So it appears that George is having some control issues right now, and we can see if she can fix that here. 3-0, called for a strike. Gets the ball just on the inside part of the plate. Pretty good pitch there by George to get the count to 3-1. If you're George, you kind of just take a sigh of relief, able to get the strike there after 7 straight balls.
Yeah, 7 straight, you're in a hole there.
3-1, slapped right to the pitcher, who throws it on to the first for the out. So Hannah George able to, despite giving up the walk, is able to leave the 0 on the board and only allows 1 hit in that inning. But the Hokies still lead 5-0 as we head to the top of the second. Can Keely Richard close it out? We'll find out for you in just a moment after we're back. This is 3304 Sports. We're here to the top of the 7th inning here at Tech Softball Park as the Hokies are looking to close this out and Keely Richard trying to get the complete game shutout. First up for the Tar Heels is Berlene Del Mora, who takes the first pitch for a ball. Del Mora is 0 for 1 today, but did get on with a walk in the second inning. The 1-0 called for a strike. 1-1 our count.
Keely Richard only giving up 2 hits thus far, improving. She actually leads the ACC in batting average again, so that should continue to improve with this performance here.
Keely Richard, 1-1. Slap to the second baseman, Banks, who's able to collect it and throw on to first to Bailey for the first out of the 7th inning.
Now 2 outs away here, and the Hokies have to like where they are, up 5-0, and now you got a game to clinch the ACC Coastal coming up next. So
up next is the number 42 George, the pitcher first at bat today. Has 21 RBIs on the season, 3 home runs, and bats .239. First pitch is high for a ball. Hannah George is the 5'9" freshman from Columbus, Georgia. Went to Northside High School. The 1-0. Slapped foul. Straight back right above the catcher.
And UNC, unlike Virginia Tech, uses their pitchers at the plate. Virginia Tech, you won't see Keely Rochard or Carrie Eberly stepping into the box too often, but two of the better hitters on this UNC team are their two best pitchers.
We have ones across the board. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and that 1-1 pitch is called for a strike. Moves the count to 1-2. One, 2, our count here. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Keely Rochard looking to close it out, but it appears that the 1-2 hits George right in the leg, and she's able to get on for a 1-out hit by pitch. Now up for the North Carolina Tar Heels is Campbell Hutchinson, the first baseman, the junior. 0 for 1 today, but she was pinch hit for in the 4th inning.
Hutcherson 0 for her last 9 at the plate.
First pitch is a strike, just gets to the outside corner of the plate. Correction, that was the 5th inning when she was pinch hit for.
Yeah, Zoe Goodman getting 1 at bat, and then Hutcherson re-entering.
0-1, our count here. Slapped foul.
Good catch there by Mackenzie Lauder.
Bounces
off the nets.
Off the net. It wishes that counted, but it does not.
No, it doesn't count off the nets, but still, impressive effort there.
But it does.
Runs down the third base line.
Does move the count to 0-2. 0-2 pitch here. Rochard with the windup and the pitch. Outside. 1-2 our count here.
Rochard would like to end it here with a double play, but still 2 outs away from a shutout.
Swung and fouled straight back over the middle press box kind of area. 1-2 still our count here with 1 out.
And the Hokies lead the ACC in shutouts, 20 of them. More than half of their wins have come where the opponent does not cross the plate, so
that's really impressive. Ball, the 1-2 was in the dirt for a ball. 2-1 our count here. Or 2-2 count here.
A good job by Hutcherson to get back into this count, trying to extend this game and give the Tar Heels a chance.
2-2 fouled another pitch this at bat.
Making Rochard work for it.
And if you're the Tar Heels, you want to extend this game as long as you can. Try to see if you manufacture any offense and maybe, just maybe, string enough together to get back in this game.
It's not likely, but it's possible, and it all starts here with Hutcherson.
The 2-2 popped up, and Rochard is able to collect it for the 2nd out of the at-bat. The Tar Heels are down to their final out in the first game.
Good athleticism, getting out of the circle there and running over a basket catch for Rochard. Now 1 out away from winning the first game of this doubleheader.
Head coach Donna Papa calls time here and is coming in to talk to her players, and it appears she's going to be calling for a pinch hitter.
It looks like Destiny DeBerry will sit down. We'll see who emerges from the dugout.
One of the assistant coaches for Virginia Tech is now adjusting, gets the sign. It appears it'll be number 3 for the Tar Heels. That is Haley Jensen, the junior, who predominant position is catcher.
So DeBerry 0 for 2 on the day. She's going to sit down.
And we have the coaches duel here as Pete DeMore calls time to talk to his pitcher Rochard. So give him last bit of advice. Rochard's sharing a little smile. It seems like they feel pretty confident about this game and how she's pitching, and maybe just some final words of encouragement. Hey, get this batter out. Maybe share some advice, some analytics. But if you're Jensen, you just want to get on because you got your best hitter in Murray on deck, and hopefully can get to her, and hope maybe some offense can be generated with your final out. She actually has very few plate appearances, only batting 100, no RBIs and no home runs. So, and takes the first pitch for a strike.
Definitely a big at-bat here for Rochard. You don't want to let Leah Murray step into the box again. You want to end this before the top of the lineup can come back up.
0-1 our count here. The windup and the pitch inside for a ball. The Hokie fans did not like that call, but just inside, did not able to get across the plate there for Rochard.
An interesting choice by Papa to bring in Jensen, hitting just 100 on the year.
The 1-1 is fouled straight back. The Tar Heels are down to their final strike.
Infield playing way back.
Preventing any extra base hits is the goal here. None of those. They'll take a single, won't advance any runners, but they don't want any nonsense. The 1-2 swung on and missed for the strikeout. Keely Rochard is able to get the 2-hit shutout for the Hokies as they win Game 1 of this series, 5-0. We'll be back in a few moments to wrap it up right here from Tech Softball Park. You're listening to 3304 Sports. Welcome back to Tech Softball Park as Game 1 has wrapped up with the Hokies getting a much-needed victory after showing no offense yesterday. The Bats come well alive today as the Hokies are able to win 5-0. And Jake, what a game here by Keely Rochard, a 2-hit shutout.
And we've seen a lot from Rochard this year. She has the 3 no-hitters, including the perfect game. She followed that perfect game up with a 1-hit shutout against UVA, coming back here today, and another gem from Keely Rochard. Just 2 hits allowed, never really in danger of giving up a run. A very good performance by Rochard. And now we see if Carrie Eberly can come back after last night losing and coming back and getting a win here today.
And Brittany Pickett, after coming off that 3-hit shutout yesterday, gives up 2 home runs and just seemed to not have it in this first game. Obviously, Donna Papa's going to bring her back out, her ace for Game 2 in a much-needed game, but those 2 home runs by the Hokies were very big.
The 2 home runs bookending the scoring for the Hokies, and I think this lineup is very good, and they saw Pickett yesterday, seeing her again today. They kind of got a feel for her stuff, able to get 2, Emma Strouth hitting 1 over the left field fence, and then in the 5th inning, you see Darby Troll hit her 7th of the year over the right field fence. So a lot of power in this Hokies lineup. They saw Pickett yesterday, able to jump on her today and get this big win.
And, of course, we'll have Game 2 here for 3304 Sports, and we're going to see if the Hokies can clinch the Coastal Division.
It's all it is one game now. They win that one game, they clinch the Coastal for the first time, and last year they were second to last in the Coastal, so a great turnaround from Pete Demore and the Hokies. It's one game now, and even if they lose, they still do have a 2-game lead over the Tar Heels in the Coastal, so they would just have to take care of business against Boston College next week.
And the crazy part about this is the second season of divisions, and this will be the last season of divisions for now, as Clemson is going to be joining the ACC next year in terms of softball. And so it'll be interesting to see if Virginia Tech can say they were the last Coastal Division champions in softball, and they might get another regular season ACC title. And we'll have that for you in approximately 30 minutes live here on 3304 Sports. Jake Lyman will be taking over the play-by-play duties. I will be moving into the color role, and we'll have that for you in a few moments here on 3304 Sports.